Do you always feel as if you never have enough time? And do you always feel busy? Now, if yes, then let me tell you the truth. You do not need more time to do it all at all. You need to use less of your time for relevant tasks instead. You need to free up your plate. In other words, you need to eliminate. And we all have the very same 24 hours in a day. I have it as well. You probably as well. And the most successful people in the world are more successful because they make better use of their time. And this is why today's video will clarify why elimination always must come first. And I will also show you why elimination is such an incredibly powerful and simple, but unfortunately rarely used tool to save time and to simultaneously increase your productivity. And in the second part of the video, I will give you a step-by-step guide, bullet point by bullet point, that you can follow to eliminate unnecessary tasks so that you can maximize your productivity and win more free time at work and in your personal life. Also, if you implement the steps I show you, it can save up to 25% of your time. And for your information, 25% means 6 hours saved per day. And because I'm serious, I will even show you the maths behind it. Now, that said, before we start, if you're excited, please take a moment to like and subscribe to the channel so that we can build an army of high performers together. I would highly appreciate it, and let's try to crack that 100 subscriber mark, don't you think? That said, my name is Nicholas. I'm a neuroscientist, dementia researcher, as well as a high performance and flow coach. And this is how you eliminate like a champion to manage your time more effectively. Alright, so first and foremost, let's have a look at the general optimization process that you can do to save time. And there are 3 things that you can do in particular. And the first thing would be elimination, of course, which will be the topic of this video. Automatization or systematization, that means that you make processes more smooth by standardizing them. For example, that could be to set a fixed work routine that you follow each day, Monday to Friday, or in a bigger company, for example, one of the pharma companies I worked in, it would be to have standard operation procedures in place. So that would be step-by-step guides of what every single employee has to do to achieve a certain outcome. For example, how would you test a pharmaceutical product like the vaccine for quality? What do you need to do? And of course, we have delegation. Delegation, as the name says, means that you would simply give tasks away, tasks that are repetitive or that don't need you to be present personally, or that don't need any high-level thinking from you. So you would give those tasks to other people. And it doesn't necessarily have to be business tasks. It could also simply mean to let someone else do the cooking or the washing for you. Or maybe you get a nanny for your kids so that you can focus on work, like one of my recent clients did, so that she could have another 2-hour deep focus or flow block in the afternoon. And what you need to understand is that there's an order to these things. So always you eliminate first. Elimination is superior to optimization. It comes before systematization, and it comes before delegation. Now, you might ask the question, why would I eliminate first? And the thing here is that you should keep things as simple as possible. Because consider optimizing things, it needs time because you need to invest time to optimize it. To systematize your day also needs time because you need to be thinking about all of the variables involved, etc. So instead of wasting all of this time, investing all of this time to optimize something, to systematize something, or maybe delegate something, even delegating means that you have to find someone who is suitable to do the job for you. So instead of investing all of this time, the best way to reduce the amount of time that you need for an activity is to just not do it. Also consider optimizing a stupid thing is stupid. Optimizing a thing that has no value for you also doesn't make any sense. So that's why you always want to eliminate first. And the idea here, the goal is that you want to eliminate as many low value tasks as you can, as can see on the left hand side here in red. So you want to get rid of these unnecessary tasks so that you free up time, and you can then use this time to invest in the things that are important for you, things that get you closer to your goals. Then of course things that make you money, or it could be simply for your personal enjoyment. Because once again, the goal is not to work longer, but the goal is to use the 24 hours that you have, or the set amount of time that you have for work, and become more efficient with it. Now, to make this very clear for you, let me give you an example of why you should always eliminate first. Now, let's just imagine that there's a big lunch that makes you sleepy. So you eat a big lunch in the afternoon, get very sleepy, and then it becomes obviously very hard for you to focus afterwards in your work. It reduces your productivity. So in this context, what you can do is, of course, optimize. Let's say to optimize it for your lunch, you can avoid fast food. And you could, of course, take coffee or stimulants. Maybe you can test different amounts, which I do not recommend, by the way, but it could be something you might consider. Then, of course, you can test different types of foods that you ingest and see how you feel thereafter, how your energy level is. Then you might play around a little bit and you find out that eating low volume helps you to keep your energy levels higher. Then you might also select low carbohydrate foods, so foods that are, again, high in protein and fat instead, so that you prevent the release of serotonin in your brain. Now, for your side note, serotonin is released when you eat starchy carbohydrates and it makes you sleepy, etc. Then you might decide to make a meal plan based on that. But then again, the meal plan requires you to do planning for the work. So you have to sit down on the weekend and think about what you want to cook. Then, of course, you have to do the food shopping. You have to do the food preparations in advance. You might need to consider how on earth you transport your food to work, and how do you store it when you are at work? Do you need a fridge maybe? And of course, you need to eat the meal, and that will take you another 30 to 1 hour, 30 minutes to 1 hour in the afternoon itself. So the result of all of that will be that yes, your energy might be better if you optimize properly. But then again, you lose a lot of time because first you have to optimize your food, you have to prepare the food, and then of course you have to eat the food. And all of the planning you need to do, there's just unnecessary things you need to worry about, and it will increase your cognitive load. Now, cognitive load, simply put, is that anything that you think about, whatever thoughts you have in your mind, if you're stressed, maybe you're emotionally disturbed, whatever it is, it will block your mind because you only have a set brain capacity. Let's say 100%. If you have to worry about food, then your brain capacity might decrease by 20%. Then you might be stressed, then your brain capacity reduces a little bit more. And then you might only end up with 60 or 50% left, which you can use to focus. So again, the idea is to free up your brain, and the more you have to worry about, the more you have to think about, the poorer your focus will be. On the other hand, we could just eliminate. We could just eat nothing and fast. And again, fasting is commonly known to give consistent energy levels. It's also something I recommend my clients to fast for at least 6 to 8 hours because it's also very well established. Also very common high performance tip. And the advantage of that, in fact, is that one, if you fast, you don't waste any time. You don't need to optimize. You don't need to plan any food. You don't need to go shopping. So you don't need to eat itself, which will also save you time. Then, of course, if you don't eat and once you get used to it, your energy levels will stay on a consistent level. No peaks, no dumps, no slumps. You will just stay where you are. And that will allow you to focus better. And because you don't have to worry about food, planning, etc. anymore, anyhow, it will reduce your cognitive load. Once again, the less you have to think about, the more brain capacity you have left to focus. So this is just to make you very clear that eliminating should always be the first consideration, and optimization should always come thereafter, and whatever else, delegation, systematization, etc. Now, how do you eliminate? First and foremost, let's look at your workspace. So these are things that you can do to make yourself more efficient via elimination. First, you should make a list of all of the activities that you currently do at work. Whatever it is, everything you do in your job, write it down, make a list. And next, you can think about which of these tasks are actually high value. And that means two things. That means A, which of these tasks and activities that you do at your job are actually relevant for your personal goals. For example, let's say you want a job promotion. A job promotion is your goal. So a relevant task would, for example, be to work on a key project that could get you this promotion, a key project that could build your reputation, and it could have a great impact in the company. Alternatively, if you're a student, then you might want to get good grades in your upcoming exams. And what do you need to do to get good grades? You could study. Makes sense. So studying in order to get a good grade would be a very high value task, a very important task. Besides what is relevant for your goals, you should also look at which of the tasks actually make you money. And this is especially important for you if you are a business owner or an entrepreneur. And an example would be that you could, for example, improve or create a new product or a service that you can sell that will make you money, and that will be higher value than spending time on social media. Sure, you can chat with people for 2 hours on social media, might have some positive impact, but does chatting with other people really make you money? Probably not. It will probably not be beneficial for your business, not in the same way that making a new product does, or getting testimonials from your customers does, or maybe improving the customer service towards them is. That aside, what you will find is that you usually only have 4 or 5 tasks, or in other words, around 20% of the things that you do that are actually high value, that are actually useful for you to accomplish your goals or to make you more money. And these 4 or 5 things will give you 80% of your results. So that's based on the 80-20 rule, Pareto's principle, in case you have heard it. Anyhow, the thing is that once you know what is important for you, you can eliminate the other 80% of the low value tasks. Would be answering emails, for example. It's nice to answer every email under the sun, but spending 3 hours to do so every day is probably not a good use of your time, because you simply work in the agenda of other people. But you don't work on your own agenda, you don't work on your goals. And answering emails probably won't make you money. In most cases, that is. So you really need to be merciless. If you are in doubt, eliminate. If you are in doubt, remove the task. Because the thing is, you can always bring the task back. But your to-do list will also always get longer. And the goal here really is to counteract that and to eliminate every single thing that is not relevant for you. Keep your plate clean. And of course, once you have done that, you will free up a lot of time, trust me. And you can then use this time to double down on the 20% of high value activities. For example, you can just spend twice as much time on studying now. That will probably get you a better grade. Or you spend twice as much time on this one key project in your job. That might give you the promotion that you want. And the second thing is that you can also use elimination in your daily life. So in this case, like before, in the work context, you would list every single activity that you do in your daily life. That could be doing the laundry, like I did today, in fact. It could be social media, it could be Netflix or other streaming services, even things such as gossiping, so low value interactions basically, shopping, etc. Whatever you do. And then you can sort these activities on your list. And the thing here is that you move what is important for you personally. So your personal priorities and tasks that have high value for you, can move them to the top of the list. Value tasks, they could, for example, be playing the guitar, like for me. So in this case, it would be a secondary flow activity. What this means is that you have some sort of hobby or activity that you deeply enjoy and that you get deeply immersed into. So for me, when I play the guitar, I'm so deeply immersed into it that I forget everything else. And this is again to practice the flow state, in fact. And I recommend my clients to have such an activity that they deeply enjoy, that gets them deeply immersed, because the more flow they get in their personal life, the more flow they also get at work. It's like practice. Other than that, of course, spending time with family and friends could be very valuable for you. Hopefully, it should be, in fact. Then dating could be valuable for you. So maybe you decide to date once a week because you want to find a partner. So that's a high value activity for you. Then traveling, if you like seeing foreign places, visiting other countries, etc. So that could be high value for you. So good use of your time. Your health, obviously, which it should very much be, etc. And once you know what is important for you, you can also identify trade-offs. Let's say you want to eat healthy, but on the other hand, you don't want to cook because you want to save time. So in this case, you could consider a meal delivery service, because again, the meal delivery service, they will make the meal plan for you, and they will of course prepare, cook, and ship you the meals, so you don't have to worry about all of that. And lastly, as before, you need to be merciless. You need to mercilessly eliminate. And in this case, you want to eliminate the 5 low value tasks on the bottom of your list. So the things down there that are not important for you, you cut out entirely. And you do that for 2 months minimum. And once again, if you're in doubt, eliminate. You can always reintroduce tasks, but your to-do list will also always keep getting longer. So make sure to keep your plate clean. Now, what are common low value tasks that are eliminated? Now, what I will show you now are the 5 most common things that I've seen personally, and it will also give you the most bang for your bucket. It might be different for you, obviously, but just for illustrative purposes. And the first thing is your phone, social media, because believe it or not, we spend an average of 144 minutes on social media a day. Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, whatever else, watching those cat videos, that is. It's a bottomless pit, basically. Anyhow, the point is that over the course of the week, this means that you lose 1008 minutes or 16.8 hours a week. 16.8 hours. And that means that you basically lose 2 full work days of 8 hours every week because you mindlessly scroll through social media and watch those cat videos. Let that sink in. Is that how you want to live your life? On the other side, we have food, obviously. Food takes up a lot of time in terms of cooking, cleaning, shopping, preparations, etc. So it's something most people also decide to cut out in order to save a lot of time. Again, there are other ways to stay healthy instead. Then, of course, watching the news, because the news are basically a stress dump. So all the news do is stress you. So they increase your cognitive load. It's all of that stuff, all of the bad things that are going on in the world, basically. And once again, the more you have to worry about, the less brain capacity you have left to focus. So just cutting it out, can actually even decrease your stress levels, besides saving a lot of time. Then of course, that's a big thing. There's things such as YouTube, Netflix, TV, streaming services, etc. And according to 2021 statistics, People waste 3.2 hours on Netflix. So Netflix members spend that much time on Netflix each day. Then there's an average of 165 minutes of TV every day, and an average of 41.9 minutes on YouTube every day. So there's a lot of time that is just evaporating, basically. And alcohol. Now, it does consume time, maybe not as much as the other tasks, but of course, going to the bar, having your drinks, etc., or having drinks in the evening with friends, it does cost time. But the main disadvantage of alcohol are the secondary consequences, which would be potential hangover. Maybe you get poor sleep, and then in this poor state, you of course have to do work. So it will reduce your long-term productivity, and it will of course not be beneficial for you. Then, in order to show you how extreme the effects are, and to get back to what I mentioned in the beginning, so how the hell can you actually save 25%? Let me give you exactly, or show you details how, by a simple example. Now, first and foremost, let's imagine we would cut social media and Netflix time in half. Now, there would be a total of 174 minutes or 3 hours saved per day. And that would be 12.5% of your day. 3 hours out of 24 hours, that is 12.5% in fact. And if you were to eliminate social media and YouTube, Netflix, etc. entirely, then you would win back 25% of the time of your day, or you would win back 6 hours a day. Now, I realize that cutting out your phone entirely is probably not realistic. But on the other hand, what it means is it just shows you how powerful it can be to eliminate things, how much time you can save doing that. And the thing is, you don't have to, in this case, you don't have to eliminate it entirely, but you can significantly reduce it. If you get your social media time down to 10 minutes, that would be an immense advantage for you already. And it's really about combining. So just, again, eliminate the 5 things as I told you before in your personal life. Eliminate the 5 low value tasks, and the amount of time that you will save altogether for you personally will be worth it. As a quick side note, I'm currently developing a neuroscience and psychology-backed high-performance course with one-to-one coaching by me to get you from zero to hero, to blow anyone else out of the water, and so that you can accomplish your greatest goals, whatever it takes style. And I plan to launch this course for a few selected individuals in January 2022. For those of you who want to get to the next level, have a breakthrough, or live a new and more balanced life. And there will also be a 100% money back guarantee, because I will personally ensure that you will leave this course as your very best self. So you really cannot lose. And the course covers 5 aspects. The first thing will be how to find your passion, your purpose, or your inner why and mission in life. And it will also allow you to map out crystal clear goals to make your ambition a reality. The second part of the program will be methods to reprogram your brain in order to acquire any empowering belief or behavior that you desire. It could be more courage, for example. So there's the psychology of change and the neuroscience of change, in other words. And the third thing will be how you can optimize your routine, your schedule, and your productivity with the best time and task management systems out there. So a lot more of what I showed you in this video. Then 4 will be how you can personally get into flow with your work. Now, flow is the ultimate state of peak performance, in which you are so deeply immersed into a task and that you so deeply enjoy it that you forget everything else. Literally, yourself vanishes in flow. Even time vanishes in flow. And studies of Flow Research Collective have shown that flow leads to a 100% focus and attention boost, a 200% boost in meaning and fulfillment, a 500% boost in productivity, which means that you get 5 days of work in a single day if you pull it off, by the way, and a 430% increase in creativity. And interestingly, I found this out myself, and that was really interesting to know. And that's the fact that the happiest and most fulfilled people in the world are actually those with the most flow in their lives. That aside, lastly, the fifth part of the program will be that we can optimize the dopamine in your brain as well as serotonin so that your motivation, your attention, your focus, and your life satisfaction are maximized. Now, if you're interested for inquiries, to submit topics if you're interested I might incorporate into the course, and most importantly, to reserve your spot and for a significant discount, just contact me. Drop me an email before the end of December 2021 via email, which is nicholas.p.reich@gmail.com. And if you want more information about the course, also check out the video description. The spots are limited, so if you're interested, I recommend you to just drop me an email, just express your interest, and we can talk about it. The thing is, you really cannot lose. And that concludes the video. I hope that it has been insightful for you, and I hope even more that you use the step-by-step elimination guides that I showed you to manage your time at work and in your personal life more effectively. Now, of course, if you enjoyed the video and if you want to support the channel, then please like, subscribe, and share the video with your friends and those who could benefit from it, so that we can build an army of neuroscience and high performance enthusiasts together. And as I said in the beginning, it would be really cool if we would crack that 100 subscriber mark. So let's do this. Now, let me say it. Knowledge without implementation is useless. If you don't make use of the things that I showed you in this video, then you should in fact eliminate watching YouTube videos in general to save time. As ironic as it is, there is no point in learning if you don't use what you have learned to your advantage. Now, so please, for your own sake, sanity and future success, eliminate. Just unload your plate and focus on what matters to you. And if you need to know how, again, feel free to rewatch this video to get the instructions again, or just leave me a question in the comments and I'll get back to you guys. And also, if you implement the steps, let me know in the comments. What have you eliminated? And how much time have you saved? And the thing really is that time is the most precious and most limited resource that you have in your life. You can trade time for earning money. You can trade time to accomplish more and to become your best self. You can trade time for your personal enjoyment even. So use your time well because it's limited. That said, have an effective week ahead of you and I will see you in the next video.